Hi, my name is Rachel. I'm an information officer with the Caribou Fire Center. Going to talk a little bit today about FireSmart. This property is an excellent example of what FireSmart can mean and what it can do to save a property that can be impacted by wildfires. This spot particularly is a great example for fuels management. So fuels are the types of trees that we have around. What you don't want is you don't want what we call ladder fuels. So if you look off down there, and you can grab shots later if you like, is when you have trees of different heights, the fire can climb, right? It can climb up into a crown fire. So that's why those trees down there have reached the top, and some of them all of the way across are actually burnt all the way to the top. What's a great example here is they've actually pruned these trees that are right within the FireSmart parameter around their house, so the fire couldn't climb. It couldn't find branches and twigs along the bottom and climb up to get into a surface fire. That is definitely what you want to have around a house, because you don't want any kind of embers to land on your roof. So that's why there's still a lot of green up around this area here. This is also another great example of fuels management for kind of clustering trees but having space between them. We're not very crowded here with a lot of overgrown trees. They're quite clumped together. There are 3 and then 2 and then 1 here, and that's also a great way of eliminating the chances of creating a crown fire around your area. So I'm currently standing in priority 1, is what we would consider the first 10 meters away from a house. That is priority 1 of the FireSmart guide. I have a little map here, so it's this guy right here. This is where it's really important kind of what you're planting and how you're landscaping around your house. This is a great example because we do have one deciduous tree that has a bit of a burn on one side, but it's a lot different than if it had been coniferous. As well, we have a lot of rock around here. We don't have any kind of bark mulch or anything that can be immediately flammable next to the house, which is important, especially because this is vinyl siding. So vinyl siding, as you did see, can kind of slough off because of the heat. So it's important that we kind of keep a very clear area away from the house so that doesn't happen. So the siding is still intact, and that is largely due to this 10-meter priority 1 zone that is completely FireSmart, that uses the FireSmart principles. Okay. I'm now standing a bit further out, kind of in between priority 1 and priority 2. Priority 2 is between the 10 meters and about 30 meters away from your home. This is where you can have kind of more singled out trees, as you can kind of see over in this area. Another great example that you can see from this shot here is that there's a metal roof on the house, which is great, so that if any embers did land on it, or if the heat caused by a really intense fire, it doesn't catch fire on the roof. Another great thing to note is that there is a shed that unfortunately was lost, but it is outside of priority zone 1, which is important. You want to make sure you don't have any kind of quads or anything that can kind of be flammable within your priority zone 1.